Hello, today I'm going to be making my mid-season bold predictions for the NFL, and this is to the first 8 games of the season and 9 weeks. And I have 15 bold predictions on the list, and I'm just going to go through them here. The first bold prediction I have is the Houston Texans will finish with the best record in the AFC at 14-2. I think that the Texans are the most dominant team in the NFL, and I see them only losing one more game and going 7-1, and I think that only loss will come in Week 17 when they will rest their starters and they will face the Colts, and I think they'll lose the game because they'll put their backups in that game. So I'm gonna go with that, and I think that I really buy the Texans to go far into the playoffs. Next is number 2 is Andy Reid and Mike Vick will both be gone at the end of the year, and I think that both of these two will be gone at the end of the season. I think that the Eagles clearly have enough of Michael Vick. He's just been, it's been the offensive line. You made case for that too, but Michael Vick has been pretty terrible, even considering the offensive line. So I think he'll be gone, and I think that even though the relationship that these guys have for Andy Reid and all the tough stuff Andy Reid's been going through with his son dying to drug abuse and everything else, I think this will be the last season for him because he just can't win. I guess he's a good coach, but I really don't like him, and I personally don't think he stays the head coach of the Eagles until after this year. So both of those I think will be true. The next one is I think the Denver Broncos will win the rest of their games. Finish out the last 8 games of the season 8-0, and then finish with a 13-3 record. And I think they will lock up a number 2 seed. And a lot of other people also think this, but for me, the Broncos are just a dominant team, and they had a tough schedule. Play the Texans, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Falcons. They played some really tough teams at the very beginning of the schedule, and they got through that with 3-3. And they have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. I think only one a team has a winning record, and that is the Baltimore Ravens, who also are not the best team without that defense and Ray Lewis and stuff. So I think the Broncos will have the best second half season out of anybody else, and I see the Broncos finishing them with a first round bye, number 2 seed. I'm going to stay over the Broncos subject here. Number 4 is Peyton Manning will win the MVP. Peyton Manning is probably my favorite football player in the NFL. I love watching Peyton play. He's in my opinion, it'll be going down as the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and I think he's just going to add more to his resume and win a 5th MVP. He already has the record with 4, and he's just so dominant that I think he'll win a 5th. I think you're going to put Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers into that conversation as well, and some other guys. But I think Peyton will have a great second half, even though he's already had a great first half, and end up winning the most valuable player award for the second half. So next one is the Eagles, Cowboys, and Redskins will all finish 500 or below. The Redskins are 3-6, the Eagles are 3-5, and the Cowboys are 3-5. I just in my opinion, I'm not a true believer of any of these teams. I think the Redskins will next year finish second, or I'm not sure. Let's not talk about next year. But I think the Redskins will be vastly improved next year with Robert Griffin. I think they'll get some key additions in the offseason. So I think the Redskins definitely improving. But for me, the Cowboys and the Eagles, I don't know what to think of those two. They're both really inconsistent, and in my opinion, they both need a quarterback change. Not necessarily for the Cowboys. Tony Romo's not very bad, but in my opinion, if you really want to have a legitimate shot at winning the Super Bowl, I think you got to get rid of Romo. I just don't think he's capable of doing it. And Michael Vick, of course, in my opinion, I think he's a terrible quarterback, as many people do. Here's another 2. I kind of combined it into one here. The Buccaneers will finish over 500. I had that as 6, and the Buccaneers will make the playoffs as 7. I like that team. I think Josh Freeman is doing a great job over there for Tampa Bay. So I think the Buccaneers will get a 6th spot in the NFC, right behind the Packers at the 5th seed. And I don't think anybody else thinks the Buccaneers will make the playoffs. But for some reason, I'm a true believer of this. And Doug Martin, in my opinion, should be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. But I think he put him behind Andrew Luck and Griffin and maybe even Tannehill. But he's a great running back. 215 yards in Week 9, and he was tremendous. So I like the Buccaneers. I think their defense is a pretty poor defense. I don't see them winning any playoff games, but I see them making a playoff appearance, and most people don't think that. Here's another team, my favorite team, of course, and look at them. The Indianapolis Colts. With all the you go into the beginning of the season, I'm looking at predictions. The analysts, saying maybe between 3 and 6 wins. They already got 5 wins, and they face the Jacksonville Jaguars 2 nights from now on Thursday night. And I see them improving to 6-3 for that. And Andrew Luck has been tremendous. Last week set a rookie single game record, 433 pass yards, absolutely amazing. And I see the Indianapolis Colts making the playoffs as a 6th seed. And a lot of people also think that. And they're 5-3. They have a pretty manageable schedule the rest of the way. And I think if you win 4 games, I think you got to get in. I think 5 games you definitely get it. And I see them winning at least 4 out of their next 8 games over the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe even the Lions, and then that Week 17 against the Texans, because I think at that point they'll be resting their starters. So I love the Colts, and Reggie Wayne, great season, and I see them making a playoff run. I see them getting in as a 6th seed. So, and you never know. Maybe they face the Broncos. I don't know. Maybe. Steelers. My 9th one is the Steelers won the AFC North. The reason I say this, I know the Ravens are 6-2 at the moment, but they're not even a very dominant team without Ray Lewis, in my opinion. He's their leader, and I see the Steelers has a very good football team, and I see them end up winning that division maybe on the last week or 2 of the season. So I see them finishing about 12-4, 11-5, so very good last 8 games for them too. My 10th one is the Bears get a first round bye. They're very look at they on Week 9 to the Tennessee Titans last week. They won 51-20, and they had 5 defensive turnovers, and that's just incredible. And I see their defense is so dominant, and I see a good offense with Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall. I think they're they're right up there. I think they're more dominant than the Falcons, actually. So I love the Bears, and I see them making a run maybe to the Super Bowl. We'll just see. A lot of good teams this year. My 11th one is Adrian Peterson will lead the league in rushing yards. And I think he'll win the comeback player of the year. And in my opinion, Adrian Peterson, he's a great running back. He's an inspiration to a lot of young running backs out there. And I think he will finish the league lead in running. He looks like the old Adrian to me. And I'm an Adrian Peterson fan. I like watching him play, and he's a great running back. So yeah, I think he'll lead the league in rushing yards at the end of the season. Okay. And another, I see my number 12 is Reggie Wayne will lead the league in passing yards. Reggie Wayne, I think, has the most, or maybe second most, receptions, and he has the most passing yards right now. And Andrew Luck, it's just his main target. Reggie Wayne is having the best year of his career, and it's not with Peyton Manning. So, I see these guys being good connections from the next 2-3 years until Reggie retires, and they're a great connection there. So I would love to see Reggie Wayne lead the league in passing yards. I think he will do that. So big year for Reggie, big year for the Colts. 13th is the Cardinals won't win more than 6 games this whole entire year, not just in the second half. I don't see them. They started out 4-0. They then lost 5 straight games. They're now 4-5. They yet to have a bye, so they've played 9 games, so a little bit past midway. And I see in their next 7 games, I don't see them winning more than 2 games. I think it's 2 games would be the maximum because their defense is great, but I don't know when Cobb's going to come back. But I think even when Cobb comes back, I still think their offense is going to be dominant. And you got to feel for a guy like Larry Fitzgerald. He needs a good quarterback. He hasn't had a good quarterback since Kurt Warner, so feel bad for that guy. Next is the 14th. My second to last one is the Jets will finish 5-11, and Sanchez will still remain QB the rest of the season. Right now, the Jets are 3-5, so I don't see them winning more than 2 games as well. And I don't see Mark Sanchez. I see him still being the quarterback next year, and I don't see him replacing the Tebow. I think after the end of the year, Tebow will get traded to a team like Jacksonville or Kansas City or a very horrific team there. So, yeah, I don't see a good year from the Jets at all. I'm a very big hater on Rex Ryan. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I hate Rex Ryan actually. So hate's a strong word. I dislike Rex Ryan. My last and final one is the Packers will win out and still get they will win out and they will not win the division. So right now they're 5-3, and I see them winning their next 8 games, which would make them 13-3. And that's just how dominant I think the Bears will go. I think the Bears will be 14-2, and I think they'll finish 1 game over the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers will go finish at 13-3 and be a wild card. So I think it's going to be a tough workout there for the Packers, but I see them finishing with a dominant second half. So a lot of bold predictions here, and some people might agree, some people might not agree with the Buccaneers making the playoffs, or the Bears getting a first round bye, or the Colts making the playoffs, or the Steelers winning the AFC North. Whatever you don't agree on, comment and tell me whatever if you liked it. Like the video. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you.